Hi everybody, it's Catherine here. It is January 20th, 2025. So January is a very good month for me to be doing 5FU treatments. So you'll see a lot of my videos dated in January, and I know it can be confusing. The only way I can differentiate them is by telling you what those treatments are that are different in that particular time frame. So right now I just wanted to give you a follow-up on doing my left arm 5FU treatment that I have just finished, and it is on this part of my arm. And this is the only reaction that I had, and I don't know if I can get a good picture of it, but hopefully. And when that started reacting, to be honest with you, I thought it was a mosquito bite. It's so far over to the side of my arm that it's almost on that underneath skin that is so, hardly ever exposed. And I just continued to treatment. And then after probably about 9 days, 10 days, then I was like, uh-oh, yeah, that was something. So I'm really glad that I went ahead and I treated that. And then I went ahead and proceeded to do my right arm, which I had done 3 spots on my arm last year, and I did do a video on it. And they were 3 spots that the dermatologist had told me that they were nothing to worry about, but they looked weird to me. So I went ahead and I did the 5FU treatment on those 3 spots, and sure enough, they lit up. I did do a video on those. You can go back and look at that. And the thing was, so I'm going to show you one of those that spot on my arm. And let me get the camera right there. This is the one that really was bothering me because it just hadn't been there and it hadn't looked like that. And it was actually the space in between that lit up red. And I went ahead and I treated it. And look now, this whole arm is being treated. That area is being treated, and there is no redness whatsoever. So that 5FU treatment a year ago definitely took care of that. And on my last dermatologist visit, he and I chatted about that. And he said he was really glad I went ahead and treated it. But, I guess the only thing that I can say is if you have spots that are concerning you, talk to your dermatologist, and if they don't feel like it's something you should be doing the 5FU treatment on, I do think you should push a little harder. And I should have pushed a little harder when I was in that visit, saying, it's just not a normal type of spot for me. So, definitely push your dermatologist. And in the end, mine was glad that I went ahead and treated those 3 spots. And then suggested that, it was time for me to do my limbs anyways. So I did my left arm. Now I've done my right arm. Very happy with the results. I have no spots on my right arm, which has been really, really good. So then, now my chest. And considering all of the sun exposure that I have had on my chest, I am very, very pleased. I've had a reaction, but I've got one that just came up a little bit late right there, so that's going to have to get treated a little longer. But I'm very, very happy that this is all I've had, because I do know that, this is a high exposure area, and considering, I had searing sunburns as a child. Searing. And my girlfriends and I, through our teens, through our 20s, we would intentionally burn ourselves to a crisp because we thought that looked so good to have that beautiful kind of tan with that glow. And oh my God, I could just kick myself every time I think about what we did to our skin. But to only have that, I'm thrilled. The only thing I will tell you is that this spot right here, I am going to have him look at it a little more closely. It did react, and I'll tell you why I'm surprised about this reaction. Because about 25 years ago, I had it occasionally would start to bleed. just occasionally. And we were living in a very cold climate at the time. We wore a lot of clothes that, rubbed around your neck, that kind of thing. My dermatologist didn't see that it was any kind of an issue whatsoever. They went ahead and cauterized it, and that was the end of that. I saw that dermatologist probably for, I don't know, 3-4 years after that until we moved. And it had faded to, like a skin color. It didn't even look like a scar, to be honest with you. It just had a little kind of raised bump from, where they cauterized it. I was so surprised when that lit up. I was like, my God. So here you go again. Here's a spot that, could potentially have become something much, much bigger. Thank God it hadn't. But that spot that I had on my nose was the same situation as this, where it just literally was, I hate to say it, it kind of ignored, even though I had a history of this spot bleeding, and the dermatologist will just look at it. We'll just look at it. Nobody ever biopsied it, and I ended up losing half my nose 20 some odd years later. And this was actually a different dermatologist than this. So, I know that skin cancer treatment, they've really gotten so much more serious about it in the last probably, 15 years or so. But man, I'll tell you what, if there's anything I can tell you, advocate for yourself. Advocate for yourself. If it doesn't look right, if it doesn't feel right, if you know that it's different, really push your doctor and say, hey, maybe I don't want a biopsy yet, but can we try some 5FU cream on it? Let's just start with the 5FU cream. If I get no reaction with that, and it's still looking funky, or it's still doing something funky, maybe we can talk about a biopsy or what other options there are. I'm not a dermatologist. I can't tell you all the options, but I can tell you, had I known then what I know now, and how happy I have been with all the things that cream has flushed out on my body so far, boy, it just makes me so upset, particularly because of my face, but just because I know there's so many people out there that, a $45 tube of cream or a $100 tube of cream can make such a difference if you've got the right doctor. So I'm telling you, advocate for yourself and talk to your doctor. I go in with a list. I go in with photographs now. I go in with my own mirror, and I'm like, look, this is what I want you to see, or this is what I want you to see, and I really, really take my 15 or 20 minutes with them to really make sure, I want to make sure that you're seeing what I'm talking about, and they're not perfect. They are not perfect. And I've had some dermatologists that use loupes. I have some that feel like their eyes are the experts. But you know what? You advocate for you. That's all I'm going to tell you, is you advocate for you. So that being said, I'm going to finish up this. I've got a couple more days on this arm. I've got a couple more days on my chest. I'm not going to do a follow-up video on it. I think my follow-ups on my face show you how well you can heal from the 5FU cream. So that's where I'm going to end this particular video. And then I am on the docket to start with my lower limbs, which would be, I think I'll start with probably one calf, then the other calf, then one thigh, then the other thigh. So depending on how I react on those, I'm not going to take you through the whole process, but I'll just pop in if and when I have a reaction and kind of give you a follow-up on that, because I think it's important for people to know that, all these different little spots show up in different places and in different ways. So anyhow, I thank you for following me, and I have tried to answer questions in the comment box. If you have any questions, I'll try and answer them for you. Your best place to go for the best answers is always going to be your doctor. So, but I can, give you my perspective on what I've experienced and how this cream I feel is just phenomenal. And then I will talk to you soon, and I will be posting some videos on my daughter's full face treatment that she just completed about 2 weeks ago. It's just been a busy time and I haven't been able to get them posted. But it's also very interesting to see the difference in her skin type versus my skin type, and how we each have reacted very differently with the 5FU cream, and just the difference in our complexions, and it's an interesting comparison. So if you haven't looked at all my videos, I do have some already posted of my daughter from last year, and then I will be posting a very short series from this year, and I think that'll be helpful too, because even though you're familial, doesn't mean you're the same. So I will look forward to seeing you again. Please like, comment, share, and talk to your doctor. This is an easy remedy for things that may be a problem later on. So take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.